Welcome, everybody. Thanks for showing up. I am here with Raúl Galera, and who is the partner manager at ReferralCandy, which is quite an awesome program, or should I say tool or solution for word of mouth marketing. Basically, it's a platform that allows basically you to incentivize rewards to your customers so they spread the love. He's been with ReferralCandy for more than 4 years and travels all over. He's based in Spain right now, but he goes to Singapore, where ReferralCandy's based out of. He goes to the U.S. And we were just talking about how he's racking up those frequent flyer miles. So it's pretty awesome. So cool. Hey, so Raúl, thank you for coming on. I really do appreciate time. Maybe you can explain a little bit about, what ReferralCandy is and how it differs from word of mouth or affiliate marketing, and how that might be different so the audience kind of gets that reference, because, referral marketing and affiliate marketing sometimes is intertwined, but it's probably not.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. Always happy to jump in these calls. So ReferralCandy is a tool for e-commerce stores that allows them to basically turn their customer base into their marketing team. That's kind of like one of the ways that I like to put it. Word of mouth happens organically, but when you have a referral program, when you have a way of incentivizing your customers to basically, like you said, spread the love, like tell their friends and family about the brand, that obviously intensifies the word of mouth and creates a lot of buzz. And so we allow stores to basically get advantage of that and generate more sales from their customers' own network, while at the same time they're retaining those customers and make them more loyal to the brand. So that's pretty much how it works.
Right. Okay, cool. So why do you think one should implement like a referral system for their store?
Yeah. So, word of mouth happens organically.
Right.
I'm sure that, you've received recommendations lately about restaurants or, things to try, brands, products, etc. So that happens organically. So if you are an e-commerce store owner, not only really in e-commerce, like any business, but we're talking about e-commerce.
Right.
If you have recurring sales, if you have repeat customers, if you have a steady flow of orders, and you have basically a fully functioning business, your customers have a good purchase experience, and even if they don't, you have a customer support team that it's there to help them. If all of these things happen, you are already getting referral sales. Your customers are already talking to their friends and family about your brand. And there's organic word of mouth happening. The only thing is that if you don't have a referral system, there's really no way of tracking this referrals, like knowing, who are your customers that are most loyal and referring you to their friends. And there's also not much you can do to incentivize your customers to go and talk to their friends about you, because you can ask your customers, well, would you recommend this to your friends and family? And they'll probably say yes, but there's a big difference between, what you say you're going to do and what you actually do. We're humans, so we work well when we're incentivized to do so.
Right.
And so that's what the referral program does, basically incentivizing word of mouth.
Right. Okay. So could you use ReferralCandy in say, so if you were a local business, in terms of getting more word of mouth?
Yeah, absolutely. We actually have ReferralCandy, which is the tool for e-commerce stores, for online stores. But we also have a product called Candy Bar that we released about less than 2 years ago.
Okay.
That it's pretty much the same thing, but for brick and mortar businesses, for local stores. Whether you're working on traditional stores like physical stores or online, we have a solution for referral sales and also for loyalty.
Wow. Okay. So because I know that it's really, really important on the loyalty side, especially for like if you're a restaurant or if you are even regular stores. Now we're competing with the Amazons of the world and all that kind of stuff. I think a lot of these smaller local retailers could compete if they have tools like this just to get that, spreading of that. I mean, a lot of them look at influencers, but, maybe they should look directly into their customer base. Do you think?
I mean, yeah, like I said earlier, like your customers are your best salespeople.
Right.
They trusted you with their money. There's there's not much else that you can ask, from a customer. And so if they have a good experience, they're gonna talk to their friends and family about your brand. So that's really, and also one good thing about having your customer selling for you, it's because in front of the audience, they don't sound like salespeople. People trust them because, because they have that close relationship. But now that you mentioned influencers, I guess that the influencer landscape has changed a little bit over the past few years. But a few years ago, at least, most of the influencers had a network of followers because they were good at something or they were experts at something. And so people followed them because they were looking for that good content from people that knew about something. And so we've seen actually a lot of brands that partner with influencers, at the same time as they had their own referral program. And that helped them a lot because, if you have an influencer within your customer base, it's like having an advocate, but, on superpowers because they have a lot more reach, they have a lot more channels they can get in touch with people. So I would say both. Obviously, keeping your customer base happy and offering things post-sale, which we tend to forget people after they've bought from us. And influencers, of course, as long as you're picking the right influencers, they can do wonders for your program.
Sure. Yeah. I think that's an important thing that you brought up as the post-sale kind of thing, right? Because it's usually they've got their wallet out. They already had that great experience with you. And so many people forget about that, post-sale thing. I mean, what do you see working well for post-sale type things? I mean,
in terms of, we work a lot with loyalty, with royalty too. Yeah, why not? We work a lot with loyalty and customer retention in general, because a referral program can be used as a way of retaining customers as well. So you're not only acquiring customers through your own customer base, but your own network, but you're also retaining those customers that you already have by giving them incentives. So for example, if you have a product that it's likely to get recurring purchases, you can easily give your customers a discount on their next purchase when they refer a friend. So that way you're making sure that customer is going to come back to your store because they have an incentive to do so. And then also on the loyalty side, so obviously, we run loyalty programs especially for these small stores that we're talking about earlier. And so it works extremely well because they are competing, like you said, in a very competitive landscape right now. And so if you are encouraging your customers to come back to your store, you're basically staying top of mind, which is extremely difficult nowadays that we're, surrounded by content marketing. You're making sure that you have a spot in their brain, and next time they have to make a purchase, they'll think about you right away.
Right. And do you find in terms of basically when you are incentivizing them or doing in terms of a product, so would you say it's like a repeating kind of product, like a health bar or vitamins or supplements kind of things that you can get better interaction?
I mean, products that are recurring purchase friendly work very well because, like I said, it's an easy way of making sure that your customers are going to come back and make another purchase because they already have an incentive and they're getting you a new customer on the way. So it's a win-win really. But I talked to a lot of customers, ReferralCandy customers that have run like really good referral programs from all different industries, and there isn't really like one industry that works very, very well, on top of the others. It's really how you execute it. We have actually a lot of like companies that sell mattresses online, and that's probably that's not a recurrent purchase at all.
Right.
But they give other type of incentives. They could give an Amazon gift card or cash or some sort of like free gift, and so at the end of the day, you're just incentivizing people to talk to and also a mattress. I mean, it's a pretty big purchase. I'm not going to say it's like a car, but it's an expensive purchase, and you're probably going to talk to people about that mattress that you just bought and your experience with it, rather than your T-shirt or any other product that you can buy more often. So yeah, there are some industries that are more friendly, but I think it's all about execution.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, for like mattresses, I mean, obviously, you can tell people like, gosh, I feel so good. But the other thing is that, sheets and pillowcases and all that kind of stuff that, kind of the bowl and branch kind of stuff, 15 presidents slept on those sheets or whatever. So that kind of brings me into another point. It's like, what is the number one key piece of advice you would say about setting up a referral program? Or there might be more, but.
I guess I could summarize it in one. One thing that most of the most successful referral programs I've seen, at least at ReferralCandy, have one thing in common, is that they're simple, and they're simple in different ways. So they're simple in the way that they're easy to understand. So it's something like get 10, give 10. So you're going to get a $10 reward, and you can give your friends a $10 discount on their first purchase. That type of thing, like get 5, give 5. Make it easy to understand, make it easy to pitch for your customers, and that's something that I feel like it's very important. And then make it easy to earn rewards. Sometimes, referral marketing itself, it's already probably one of the most cost-effective ways of attracting new customers. More than ads or more than content marketing. You're basically paying, or you're giving some sort of reward when you get a sale. So it's 100% commission based, if you want to put it that way. So if you're only rewarding people when they actually get you a sale, give a good reward and also make sure that it's easy for them to get it. I've seen referral programs that give you one reward after you refer 10 friends. And sometimes most people can't even, get to that point. Even if it's like a really good reward, it's better to give smaller rewards or smaller, gifts, whatever it is, but make it easier for people to achieve them. And it's a way of keeping them motivated. So I would say simple in those two terms, simple to understand, but also simple to, to get to the point where you want your advocates to get to, which is the reward.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because I agree on that point, because I did see this where, Starbucks changed their referral and their point system, to making what they call the micro wins. And I was in a Starbucks the other day, and the lady's like, oh, do I have enough stars on my thing? So it's just very, people are wanting micro wins. So, they were doing the $1 for every 2 points. So when you reach $12 in spend, you get a shot of coffee or a syrup pump or whatever that might be. Right. Yeah. And so it's a quick win. Right. And it costs them nothing. Yeah. I mean, it costs them 25 cents, yeah, but it's a $12 purchase, they paid. So I totally agree on that kind of stuff. Yeah. So what do you see the best way, like what are your top ways that you've seen brands on your platform build their communities today?
Yeah, actually, so one of the things that I also discovered, I think it was like a couple of years ago when I started, I dedicated about 2 months to talk to the customers that were running the best referral programs at the time. And at ReferralCandy. And so that was like 2 years ago. And I just wanted to basically learn. And I discovered that they all had one thing in common, even though they were in completely different industries, completely different company sizes, whatever. They all had a very active community in place of customers. And sometimes, these communities were either online forums or they were Facebook groups were actually kind of the most common type of format.
Sure.
And these customers were answering questions from people that were interested in the products, but maybe they hadn't bought it yet, and we're kind of like convincing people to buy these products, or maybe they didn't really know how to use it, but instead of reaching out to customer support, they were commenting on the Facebook group, and other customers were telling them, how to use the, it was like a mix. Their customers were a mix between sales and customer support. It was great, and it was actually working very well. And of course, if you put a referral program in the mix, then it's like it's a sales machine basically.
Right.
So I would say that the best way to build a community is being different from your competition, or at least making sure that your customers know what makes you different from your competition. Especially now that, e-commerce entry barriers are, way lower than they were 10 years ago. It's way easier to set up a store. A lot of people are setting up stores, which is great. There's a lot more competition, but it's also a lot harder to stay afloat. So making sure that your customers know what makes your company different, that's already a killer. I mean, that's already a great way of creating a community around them. In Singapore, we have one of our customers called Matter Prints. They're a fashion brand, but they're very focused on kind of like sustainable growth, and they're kind of like against this fast fashion type of mentality that kind of like the sense of, we're buying clothes that we're not going to use in 10 months.
Right.
They want to go against that. Their customers know, and not only they know, but they agree with their values. The brand now becomes more than just a clothing brand, becomes kind of like a movement, if you want to call it like that. And so when your customers that already know what you stand, what are your beliefs, what's your company mission, what's your vision, whenever they go and talk to their friends, or their friends ask, hey, where do you get that shirt? They're not gonna say, oh, I got it online, or I got it on Amazon. They're gonna say, I got it on Matter Prints, or I got it on XYZ brand. And this is why it's cool, and this is why I like it.
Right.
So, kind of like make your brand a little bit more rich, and make sure that your customers know that, and they know how to share that too.
Sure. And do you find with the referral program, or the word of mouth, it works with any business? Can B2B businesses use this as well, or do you find more B2C kind of stuff?
I mean, we mostly work with B2C, not for any particular reason, but mostly because e-commerce, I would say it's mostly B2C. But I mean, it's true that B2B purchases are driven by referrals, but because there's usually some sort of budget behind. You want to make sure that you're not only spending your money, you're spending your company's money. So want to make sure that you're not making a stupid purchase. So you probably ask people. We've had B2B. I mean, we do have companies running B2B programs on ReferralCandy, but I would say B2C, at least in our business, is a little bit more common. But I mean, absolutely. I mean, before this call, we were chatting about the platform that we're using right now. That referral might generate a new sale. So it happens, and it makes sense.
Right. Yeah, I think that it's sometimes an overlooked market, the business to business side of things. But it's just because they're so busy in what they do. So in terms of your, a referral business, when you're doing what ROIs, how do you know what a successful, referral program is, and how do you measure that?
We measure it with what we call it's basically a percentage between the number of referral sales and the total number of sales. That's how we typically measure referral programs. That's what we call the referral rate. So we've seen customers generating up to a third of their sales through a referral program, which is it's crazy. I mean, it's not the average,
right.
but we've seen that, and it's crazy. Also, not only from the revenue perspective, but in terms of ROI, one thing that referral programs really bring to the table is how profitable they are compared to pretty much any other channel. And we were talking before about how a referral program can be used to not only to attract new customers, but also to retain the existing ones. Once you have a customer and you can generate recurring purchases from that customer, the customer acquisition cost is gone. You've already paid for that customer. Everything that comes, it's mostly profit, and a referral program can help with that. So looking at it from the revenue perspective, from the sales perspective, is what we typically tell our customers. When they go on ReferralCandy, they can see, what's the percentage of referral sales they're getting versus the total. But it's also on their end to look at, their own profits and see, how profitable one channel is versus, pretty much any other marketing channel they have.
Right. And do you find when should you start a referral program? So if you're a new business, should you start it right out of the gate? Or do you want to wait till you're doing $5,000 a month in sales and then you've got, people behind that kind of stuff?
I would say that it's more about the number of purchases you're making per month rather than because you might have if you're selling like a high-end product and that costs $1,000 and you sell 5,000 a month, you still have 5 customers. So you need volume. What we're saying earlier that people need to be incentivized, but you also need to know that not all of your customers are going to refer you, and not all of your customers are going to do it well enough to bring your sales. So we typically kind of like as a ballpark number, we say that about 100. The moment that you start hitting 100 sales a month, it's a good time to start thinking about a referral program.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. And in terms of communicating with your community and things like that, do you find Messenger or email still big? Like, what's channels do these brands that you see having success with?
I would say, they still rely on email a lot. It's a great way of getting in touch with people, but Facebook works very well. We allow them to see what channels their advocates are using the most, so they can kind of divert their messaging through that. But yeah, Facebook works very well. And then also, there's basically the way that people refer their friends is through a link, so they can just grab that and put it on a text message on WhatsApp, whatever it is. But we see, we see that Facebook still works very well. And also email, kind of like from communication between the company and the customer. At the end of the day, we always tell our customers to have as many call to actions as possible. So, make sure that your customers know that there's a referral program by looking at the website. Make sure that you tell them through social media. Make sure that you remind them via email. Just many touch points as possible. That's usually the best way.
That's right. Okay. And what are, in terms of you deal with lots and lots of companies using it. What have you seen the most creative way that brands have been using to implement referral programs?
I've seen some really original ones. So, for example, actually the one that I was mentioning earlier, Matter Prints. So it's interesting because they don't, because of what they stand for as a company and what their beliefs are, they don't really give discounts. Right. And pretty much the only way that you can get a discount for that company is through a friend. So it's kind of like as a welcoming gift, welcome to the community. Here's a thank you for trusting us. Here's a discount for your first purchase. So, that's one of the most original ones that I've seen. It's kind of like making it a little bit exclusive, gives you that feeling, and it works. And then, it's all about adjusting your rewards to your customers' purchasing experience. So if they're going to buy from you several times, give a discount. If you don't know if they're going to buy that many times, or if you're not sure about it, maybe give cash or give some sort of gift card, something along those lines. Free products work very well too. If your customers like your product, give them one for free, and it's going to be cheaper than sending out a cash reward, for example. Right. So yeah, those are probably the most common ones, I would say.
Okay. And are there any trends you're seeing, in referral programs today? That's sort of changing from when you started to kind of now.
Yeah. So I would say, so I've seen kind of like a trend kind of like fading a little bit and another one spiking up. So the communities, that's that's huge, and it's something that a lot of brands are trying to build around them, just by being different, kind of like giving a closer look to the customer about who the company is and what they stand for. That combined with our referral program works very well. And then in terms of influencers, I've seen kind of like both. I've seen kind of like the beginning of brands chasing influencers. They still do, but there's a lot more, and it's a little bit harder to choose. I remember talking to this customer that launched their brand also like 3 or 4 years ago, and one of the first things that they did is actually to choose influencers they wanted to work with and go meet them in person. So instead of kind of like the transactional type of relationship that most brands have with influencers, which is like, oh, send me your prices and here's the product and take a picture and that's it. They were like, okay, we want to show you what we're building here. We want to show you our product. We want to make sure that you like it. It was like a closer type of, and I think, and that worked very well for them back then because they were able to get in touch with smaller influencers, but people that had a very closer relation to the brand. I feel like that right now, being able to vet influencers in person, that will work. It will probably even better for the brand. But right now, definitely building a community. It does. I've seen also brands doing like events in person to kind of like bring people offline a little bit and making them have a little bit closer relations to the brand. But yeah, communities are working extremely well.
Cool. Awesome. Well, I know you're a busy guy. You had a huge information dump here. And now I am very clear on referral programs. They're awesome. I think that anybody should in our community really implement these things because it's something there. So tell us a little bit more about ReferralCandy, the types of services you offer, the clients you kind of work with, so our community can kind of get a feel about that.
Yeah. So ReferralCandy works directly in your store. So basically what we do is that we allow merchants to run their customer referral program and basically forget about all the kind of like the technical details or all the transactional events that come with it. So once they sign up on ReferralCandy, all they have to do is set up their rewards. So what they want to give their customers for a referral, what they want to give to the refer friend for that, to encourage that first purchase. And then depending on whether they have a designer in-house or if they don't, they can customize their emails and pages as much as they want. If they don't want to spend time on it, they can just upload a logo and a banner, and we customize all their emails and pages so it looks kind of like clean and professional. It looks good in front of the customer, and then that's it. That's all they have to do. And then we always tell them to obviously promote this, like let your customers know that there's a referral program in place and they can benefit. But we take care of sending out the rewards. We take care of tracking everything to make sure that they have a kind of like a very good picture of what's going on with the referral program. And in terms of customers, we typically work with small and medium retailers. We have some large customers that have been working with us for a while, and we've seen them grow. But I would say that, it's also in terms of how our pricing works and everything, it's more geared towards small and medium businesses. And one of the reasons why we're focused on this is because, we allow them to get everything set up and running in a matter of minutes. So they don't have to really spend time. They can focus on running their store.
Awesome. So the best way for somebody to go and get started with ReferralCandy is just head over to your website and sign up. I mean, what's the best way?
Yeah. ReferralCandy.com. Start their free trial. We have a 30-day free trial. Cancel anytime. And you can get your referral program up and running in a matter of minutes. Connect to, if you're using, even if you're not using kind of like a major platform like Shopify or BigCommerce or WooCommerce, which we have obviously native integrations with, but even if you have your own custom store, there's just a couple of steps that you need to follow to integrate with us. But they can get their store up, the referral program up and running fairly quickly. So yeah, ReferralCandy.com. That'll be the best way.
Awesome. And if people want to get a hold of you, Raul, what's the best way that they can do that?
Yeah. So my email, so Raul G, that's RAULG at ReferralCandy.com. I'll be happy to answer any questions, any follow-up questions after the webinar.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah. And we'll put that in our show notes anyhow on that thing.
Cool.
So
sounds good.
So make it easy, and a link to it as well. So I do want to thank you for coming on. I appreciate that. I know it's sort of late in the afternoon or evening in Spain there. So, but it was awesome. Thanks for that knowledge. I'm sure our community is going to get a ton of value out of that. And I look forward to having you come on again.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. And yeah, it was a pleasure.
Okay. Take care. Bye.